It's crazy when your friends start trying to get pregnant because then you realize how hard it is to get pregnant at your age. I had no idea. Because I don't want kids. I've been using birth control like an idiot. The best, most effective birth control, turns out it's being 39 and getting cummed in because these girls can't get pregnant. It's almost like the more you want a child, the more God's just like, no, I don't think so. That's like really desperate and sad. You're like a pick-me mom, like you're trying too hard. He's like negging them. It's so rude. He's like, you waited till you were 37? Really? Why do you think I gave you your period when you were 14? That wasn't so you'd be embarrassed in gym class. That was so you wouldn't graduate high school. You know, like... It's crazy. It's changed my whole birth control method, really. Now, because I don't want kids, my boyfriend comes in me, and then we pray together for a child afterwards. We hold hands, and we say, please, God, we're ready. We really want one. We try not to laugh when we say it. We're building a nursery, just trying to throw God off, because he's an asshole, you know? We name each of his loads. It's fun. We're running out of, we get lazy sometimes. There's a lot of Randys. But my heart goes out to you if you have fertility issues, truly, because it must be so frustrating to know you'd be so good at something, yet God will not give you a baby. You've waited long enough to be good at it. God's like, no, sorry. And then you hear about like a teen who gets raped by her uncle, and God's like, here's twins. And you're like, what the fuck? Are you serious? I'm over here trying. So my boyfriend and I have stopped doing that role play because that was risky. We were playing with fire. I had no idea.
It's much more viscous than pee. It's pee has the consistency of like a Gatorade, whereas semen, it's more like a bum's loogie. If it's what it is. I know it's gross, but when you, like, these are facts. And when you spell it out like that, aren't you, girls, aren't you just like, we're so strong. Like, we can do anything. Yes. I can't believe we do it. I couldn't believe about that liquid. I was just like, that is awful. Where does it come from? And then you find out it comes from the sac that rests beneath the noodle. The grossest part of a guy's body that's covered in hair and the balls. It's so gross. The liquid's so gross. The male body has found a way to store it outside of the body because it's like, I don't want this in me either. It's just balls are just a crock pot for the liquid that's been on simmer all day. And then it drains into your head. It just kept getting worse. What do you do with it? What?
I mean, I do think there is something different than me and people who want kids. I think I'm different than people who want kids because I'm smart. You know, I think that's mainly it. I'm a more intelligent person and I think things through. No, I don't think that. No, I actually think that people that want kids are stupid. Like, I think they're dumb and they just kind of go with whatever. No, I don't think that at all either. I really don't. Listen, I get why you have kids. I'm not so naive. Like, it's because you love them. It's because that's a great feeling to feel the love that you have for your child. It's a feeling I've heard of, and it sounds so good. And I might not get to feel it. And sometimes I get bummed out by that. I'm like, is this a human life worth living to not feel that great love? And then I think about, you don't get to feel every feeling in life that's good, you know? Like, I also have no plans on doing heroin. I mean, I'm almost mad at my sister for having kids because the way I feel about my niece and nephew, like, if anything ever happened to them, like, I'd be okay. Like, I'd be okay eventually. Like, at first, it would be the worst. Oh, it'd be awful. But then, like, a Taylor Swift album would come out. Like, I would kind of, like, rebound. I would have moments of, like, I'm back to my old self. But my sister, no Taylor Swift will get her out of that, you know? It's over for her if something happens. That's extremely risky. That's really impressive to me to take on that. I think it's just, I look at being a mom and I think it's too hard to be a mom for me. Actually, no, it's not hard to be a mom. It's hard to be a good mom. It's easy to be a bad mom. That's so easy. But to be a good mom is hard. To be a bad mom, that's as easy as being a great dad. That's what that is. Yeah. It's a cakewalk, you know it. It's not your fault, it's just the way it is. And I know there are some dads that do just as much as moms, and it's because your wife is dead. That's probably why. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. But some people just know, man. Some moms, it actually is the smart thing to do. You're wise to do it. Because someday you're gonna get old, and no one is gonna care about you anymore. Right? But if you have kids, someone might. They might. You might get lucky. It's gonna be your kid, right? Having a son or daughter is just having a future person who's like, yeah, I gotta go see dad later. Ugh. Yeah, I need to get some more Vicodin. So yeah, gotta go check in on him at the home. Yeah, I hear he's calling the nurses the N-word, so I gotta go see that. That's because they're white. That's hilarious. So it's true. Your kids will take care of you. That's a good thing to do. That's insurance. I don't have that. If I get old, who's gonna care for me? You know?
I got you, Nikki.
No, you don't, sir. I don't think you do. Famous women do have caretakers when they get older, but they're gay men, okay? That's our only hope, and that didn't sound like one to me. Yeah, I do worry about that. I'm like, what if I don't have kids? Like, who's gonna care for me? Not my niece and nephew after that fucking joke I just told, so I gotta have a plan. And I do have
Where for your dick to go now, and so I hate that guy. He's always just like, where do I go? Where do I go? It's just like, go fill the Brita, Tony. Why were you late? Like, do something useful. We're all gonna be very dehydrated after this. But, no. Then Tony's just like hitting his dick on her shoulder as if that's doing anything for either of them. And it's just like, look inside yourself, Tony. Why were you late? God. She's not like a bison on the Great Plains. You need to use every single part of her to honor her. Gangbangs? Like, I love gangbangs, but I'm just looking for like a respectful gangbang. Like, why not just be nice to her? A respectful gangbang, that would just be a girl tied up, and guys are doing lots of things to her down here, and then up here, a guy's just brushing her hair and telling her she's strong. Respectful. That's all I want. You know what's frustrating about masturbating when you're a woman is that's a trick I learned. It's like, if you touch their hard dick, it's like inviting a vampire in your house. Like, you're obligated to then do something about it, or whatever that rule is. But you can avoid touching their dick. At the end of a date, I always keep my hands up here, because I'm just like trying to figure out if I want to touch their dick or not, but I'm just keeping them up here and kind of keeping my space. Because I haven't decided. Maybe I do want to touch her dick. I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure it out. It's always between, do I go home with him or go home and eat? Like, that's usually kind of the battle in a woman's mind. Especially me, like, if I'm nervous about a date, I usually haven't, like, eaten enough that day because I'm scared we're gonna have sex and I don't want to fart during it. So I've, like, just been, like, so I'm starving at this point. I'm just gonna go home. But sometimes they get frustrated and they're like, maybe she doesn't know I'm hard. I think that sometimes you guys are like, maybe she doesn't know. So they'll take your hand and kind of Helen Keller you, like, hey, I'm hard. And you're like, oh, thank you, Papa. Like, I don't know why Papa. That doesn't really fit either scenario, but we had fun. But then you touch it, and I do like a hot stove now. I'm like, I didn't touch it. It's like I don't have to do anything. Because if you don't touch, you can just kind of go, good night, and like float away on a toadstool and like go home and eat in bed. But then if you touch it, you either have to do something to it, or you have to tell him that you don't want to do anything with it at this point, right? And that can be like, you're just like, I just don't like you enough now, or I'm not comfortable. It's like a hard conversation to kind of have. And sometimes I'm better at suck a dick than I am at sharing my true feelings. So I blow a guy to avoid telling him the truth. I've done it so many times.
I do everything I can to stay young looking. I really do. I do Botox, I do filler. Sometimes I do too much filler and I look like the guy from the Saw movies who gives the challenges. I do lasers and micro needling, and those things are so harsh on your skin. I recently got micro needled, and I couldn't leave the house for 3 days because if I did, it looked like I got mouthy in a car ride with Chris Brown. Like it looked like I was trying to give him directions where he knew where he was going. Are you groaning? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to offend any Chris Brown fans. I mean, I look like Chris Brown loves me very, very much and just wants what's best for me. But yeah, I gotta stay hot in Hollywood.